So this is a chapter 10 makeup. So this is for students who are missing a couple of the chapter 10 assignments as well as the tests. So you haven't seen the notes and you haven't done the big ideas. This is a way to earn partial points back without having to go back through and do all of the notes and all of the missing assignments. So what we're going to do is I will have one example that is like the problem that you will have to solve. So for example, example 1 is what I will be completing, and then problem 1 is what you are completing. And so you will complete the problem that follows the example on your own, and you will insert your answer into the Edpuzzle. Keep in mind that I will be grading your problems and that's how you get your points back. So if you don't put any answer into Edpuzzle, then I have nothing to grade for you. So then you can't earn any points back. If you do a showing work form and you email it to me, I will grade that and give you partial points back. But some things to keep in mind, since we didn't do the full lesson and since we didn't do the full homework assignments, this is just a way to earn back partial points on those missing assignments. So as long as you do this correctly, you will get a 2 out of 3 on those missing assignments and a maximum of a 70% on your missing test score. If you're not missing a test, but you're missing all the assignments, this is another way just to get those 2 out of 3s back. Or if you are missing just the test, you can also do this as well. But just keep in mind, if you do this, you can only get a maximum of a 70% because we aren't taking the full test that I assign to students. So what a maximum of a 70% means is you will get a C on the test. But if you do not get the answers correct, then I will still deduct off some points and take some points out and away from you. So you could get lower than a 70, but at least we're getting a score, and any score is going to be better than that 0%. So example 1, I'm going to do this one, and then you need to do very similar things, just different numbers to the next problem. So to find the surface area of a prism, we need to find the area of each side. So there are 6 sides on a rectangle or on a box. Not a rectangle, a prism, sorry. And so what I like to do is think of it as top and bottom, because the top is going to match the bottom. They'll have the exact same units. If it's 6 down here, it's a 6 up here. If it's a 7 down here, it's a 7 up here. So I think of it as top and bottom, and that way I only actually have to do 3 problems and then add them together. So I'm not having to find the area of each side, I'm having to find the area of 3, and then I just multiply by 2 because there are 2 sides that match. So I'm going to find the area of the bottom, just because that's where my numbers are. So the area of this bottom, we do the area of a rectangle, which is just length times width. And so we have 6 times 7, which gives us 42. And so then I need to multiply this by 2 because there are 2 sides. That top also matches the bottom. So whatever the bottom is also what the top is. 2 times 2. This means that my area, oops, I'm still writing in a highlighter, my area is actually 84 for the top and the bottom combined. So I already added the top with the bottom. Now we're going to find the sides. So the side lengths, I call these the left and right of the box. So I'm just breaking the box down into its parts. And so I have 6 times 3, which equals 18. But my right side also matches my left side. Those are the same. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. So 18 times 2 gives me 36. And so that's the area of my left and right added together. And then we still have to do our front and our back. So our front and back. So our front has a length of 7 and a width of 3. And so, because this is 3 back here, which means it's 3 right here. So we have 7 times 3, which is 21. times 2, which is 42. So now what I do is I'm going to add these three. That was not helpful that I highlighted in the same color, but it's fine. I'm going to add those three numbers together to find my surface area, because surface area is all the sides added together. So we do 84 plus 36 plus 42, and we get 162. So that is my answer. So my answer is 162 for my surface area. So now what you're going to do is problem 2. So I'll leave this up here. And I gave you the two formulas. So remember, surface area is what we do at the end. We add all of them together. And we're going to use the area of a rectangle to find each side of the box. And so I'll even leave it to where you can see what we did up at the top. And now you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to do it with the numbers for problem 1. So I'm going to give you a second to do that on your own. Number 2. So it says at the base of a right triangular prism. So now the sides of we have the top and bottom are both triangles instead of rectangles. And so we are going to find the area of the triangle. So a triangle is the base, which they said was 6, times the height of our triangle, which is 8. And then we divide by 2 because a triangle is half of a rectangle. So 48 divided by 2 equals 24. And we have two triangles. So we have this triangle on the bottom, but we also have the same triangle at the top. So we're going to multiply this by 2. So we actually get 48 for the area of both triangles. Now we need to find the area of the rectangles. So I'm going to call it rectangle. This one will be the left rectangle. I'm talking about this one right here. And we're just going to do length times width. So our length is 8 times our width, which is 14. And so 8 times 14 equals 112. Now I'm going to do front rectangle. Front rectangle. So we have a length of 6 and a height of 14. 6 times 14 equals 84. And then we're going to find the area of that back triangle. So we have a length of 10. So I'm going to call this back rectangle, which is a length of 10 times our height, which is 14. And I get 100. Show you what I did in 40. And now we add up all of our answers because surface area is adding them all up. So we have 112 plus 48 plus 84 plus 140.
And that gives us 384. So we have 384 is our answer. So you are going to do the next one on your own. And then I even drew the picture for you and gave you all of the formulas. So you're going to do this one on your own and then move on to the next example. Alright, so this one, we still have to find the area of the top and bottom, but we also have to find the area of the side. And so we need to find the area of the circle, and we know an area of a circle is pi times r squared. But since there's a top circle and a bottom circle, we're going to multiply by 2. So we have 3.14 times our radius, which is 6. And since we have an exponent of 2, that means we do it twice, and then times 2. And we get 226.08. Now we have to find the area of the side here. So this little area on the inside. And so that is, I'm going to draw a rectangle because it kind of looks like one. And we have to do 2 pi r times our height because it's going around the circle. And so 2 times 3.14 times our radius, which was 6, times our height, which is 14.4, gives us 542.59. And now what we're going to do is add these up. So, add, and we are going to do 542.59 plus 226.08, and we get 768. And it says round to the nearest tenth, so we're going to do 0.7. So now you're going to do problem 3 on your own. Just change the numbers and type your answer into Edpuzzle. Alright, so now we're trying to find the volume. So the volume is taking our area of our base, which is just the bottom, times our height. So, area of our base, so our bottom is 8 times 8. Actually, I'm going to call this just base. So we have 8 times 8, which is 64. And then now we're going to take 64 and we're going to multiply that by our height, which is 5. 64 times 5. And we get 320 for our answer. So that's all you have to do for the volume questions. So you're going to do problem 4 on your own. Going to your answer. Nope, you're not checking your answer. You are going to move on to the next question. All right, number 5. So number 5, it looks very similar to the one that we did on number 2. Looks like this. They told us that we have a base of 6 and a height of 8, and then the height of the whole thing is going to be 14. So think of a triangular prism as like half of a box. So if you were to cut a box diagonally in half, it would look like this. And so we find the area of the base. So we have 8 times 6. And remember, it's a triangle, so we have to divide by 2. So 48 divided by 2 equals 24. So now we take 24 times our height, 14. So 24 times 14 gives us 336. So our answer is 336. You also could have just multiplied all of these together and then divided by 2. That's another option. So you are going to do problem 5 on your own. And then when you are all done, I need you to email me to let me know that you completed the Edpuzzle so I can go and grade it and give you guys those partial points back.